Colorado, everybody out there, get ready, get ready. You know what time it is? This is SR broadcast live and full effect tonight, Denver, Colorado. We got a treat for you. We got a treat for you. Everybody, give it up for Nick Davis, Denver, Colorado's very own. Make some noise, everybody out there. This is your time right now for greatness. Everybody out there, tune in, tap in. You know what it is. This is SR Broadcast Live, coming at you live and direct. This is your co-host, David Pistols. Shouts out to the founder, the one, the only Six Deuce up on top, man. He's watching over us tonight. But definitely, everybody out there, stay tapping in, stay tapping in. We're doing it right now. We're getting ready for greatness. How you doing tonight, Nick? Can you hear me?
All right, now we got it clicked on.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Yeah, there we go, man. Honestly, Denver, Colorado's own.
Yeah, I had to call in one of my wives for tech support, so we're all good now.
Well, hey, honestly, at least you got a strong team. You got a strong foundation. You know, definitely go ahead and give the people out there an introduction. If they don't know you, and if they do, you know, go ahead and just introduce yourself to them.
Yeah, my name is Nick Davis. I'm just a resident here in Aurora, but my family for the past few years has been featured on the TLC show Seeking Sister Wives. So I'm a polygamist, among other things, I guess, and you know, that's generally what has brought me here to this point.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I got a chance to kind of see a couple of those episodes. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to congratulate you, brother, man, because this world is in such a deficit because we don't know how to treat women. We just don't. Young men don't know how to treat their mothers. They don't know how to treat their aunties. They don't know how to treat their cousins, yet alone treat a wife right, you know? And I just want to commend you on that, brother, because for you to be able to go out on the platforms that you're going out on, you're touching young men's hearts all across the nation. You know, this is something that people can idolize, they can look up to, and it's not fictitious, you know. It's not basically something made believe. This is something very, very real and dear, you know. And I feel like the more people that hear about this, the more they can get a better understanding on how to really take that stance as a man.
Hey, if I can just scale back just a touch, you know, it's not only, or I guess more importantly, it's not that we've forgotten how to treat women. I think it's that overall people aren't treating themselves very well. You know what I mean? I don't think people are treating themselves good. I think people are beating themselves up and dragging themselves through a lot of things that they probably shouldn't be doing. And I think that's more reflective of what's taking place. You know what I mean? How can you treat your woman right when you're not treating yourself right? You know what I mean? When you're not doing yourself how you should be doing yourself. You know what I mean? How can you expect to you know, bring any peace to anybody else's life or be any stability for anybody else when you're being all chaotic within yourself? So I think that's really where a lot of the focus needs to be for men and women both. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That's amazingly put right there. It's just basically about how we treat each other. You know, we got to really treat the other person great. And if we're not treating ourselves right, we're falling through the cracks right there. We're unable to do that end. And it's like how it goes back. And I know it's ironic, but it's like, how could you ever love another person if you can't love yourself?
Type shit. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, no, that's exactly where it is.
So honestly, what is your greatest quality that you see in yourself? You know, what can you say about yourself to help the younger generation out there?
That's a tough question to answer, man. What is my
so many different ones,
quality?
huh?
What is my greatest quality I see in myself? Oh my goodness!
Like not basically like what's the greatest quality you could provide? You know, that you provided in.
I think I mean, I think what's most important is like I said, loving yourself, you know, just being able to really accept the person that you are, and then getting comfortable being that individual instead of trying to always match or flip yourself based on what society standards are or what's going on with the world around you. I think it's best that everyone try to find a way to come to terms with the individual that they actually are. You know what I mean? The person who they are. It's wild. You know, Michael Jackson had that song back in the 80s talking about the man in the mirror. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the person, you know, making sure that you are able to come face to face with yourself day to day. You know what I mean? Make sure that you're not making decisions in life that make it difficult for you to accept yourself for who you are. You know what I mean? I think that's something that people really struggle with. That's something that I haven't had a hard time doing, you know, for better or worse. But I think a lot of people try to live up to standards that aren't their own. You know what I mean? You got to set your own standards for yourself, you know, and live up to those and move.
You can't look at the next man's goals.
Nah, not at all. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Next man's goals or the next man's accomplishments. You know, don't try to measure yourself based off of what someone else has done. That's a pointless endeavor. You know what I mean? There's no reason to do that. You know, do what you're doing based off of what you're doing. Measure your success based off of what you're doing, not based off of what somebody else has done. Doesn't make a difference. You know what I mean? Do yours how you do yours. And then
every hat isn't the same.
Yes, every hat's not the same. Exactly. Every head ain't gonna wear it the same. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, go ahead and accept yours for what it is and then develop it. You know what I mean? And then develop from there instead of, you know, I think too many people spend time beating themselves up over what they think they should be, as opposed to accepting where their stuff is and then developing that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you shouldn't have goals and aspirations to want to be better or stuff like that, but don't beat yourself up over it. You know what I mean? There's no reason to down yourself over anything that you feel like you haven't done or should do. You know, and I think that's one thing that I've been able to maintain in life is this idea that, you know, it's gonna be what I make it. You know what I mean? Life's gonna be what I make it to be. So I get the opportunity to craft my life the way I want it to be. So if I don't like how my shit is, well then that's up to me to do something to make things different. You know what I mean?
You got to fix it, huh? I got you. And it's like you got to actually set those goals. And, you know, I feel you. It's like too many people, they're worried about, hey, you know, this style's in today, this style's in today. And it's like, well, what about your style? When is your style ever going to be in? You know, like you got to take your style, take who you are. And I think that's why so many people can idolize you at this point, because I think they've seen that. They have kind of got a glimpse into that. And man, I got to just commend you. You know, you're phenomenal. You know, honestly, the way you articulate, the way you speak, it's very, very, I don't know if this is the right word, but it's very dominant, you know, in a world where definitely people just don't know how to speak, you know?
Well, I appreciate it, man. I do a lot of reading, so, you know, that's where all that comes from. You know what I mean?
What kind of books are you reading right now?
Right now I'm I think currently I'm reading a book by a guy named Frank Wilczek. He was a physicist, theoretical physicist, Nobel laureate, but it's called Fundamentals. And it's just basically just talking about physics up to this point, you know what I mean? Kind of just talking about what we know about the basics of reality right now as it is and stuff like that, man. Just kind of
definitely
keep myself fresh. You know, that's another thing, I guess. You know, as far as qualities that people should try to keep intact, you know, stay curious. You know what I mean? Stay curious. You know, it's okay to want to learn things or to admit that you don't know stuff. You know what I mean? Stay curious. Keep your mind interested in different things. You know what I mean? Don't ever settle on what you know as being what there is. You know what I mean? There's always going to be more shit for you to learn. So keep your mind open. Stay curious. Yeah. But
what was your favorite book? What was your favorite book that you read back in high school?
That's wild. I'm not even sure. You know, actually, I can't tell you. You know, I can get that. My favorite book I read in high school, it was definitely the Odyssey of Homer. So you know,
okay,
the Iliad and the Odyssey. You know, that's a book. Those books to go together. But I like the Odyssey of Homer. It's about Odysseus, Greek. That's my favorite Greek hero, Odysseus. So you know, if anybody want to check out some Greek mythology or something, go ahead and look into Odysseus. He was a pretty cool character. You know.
Definitely. But, so would you say that would you say you're spiritual? Would you say that you're just very in tuned?
I mean, I guess I take both. You know, I don't mind either one of those. You know, spiritually in tuned, if you will. You know what I mean? I suppose. You know, I think there's enough evidence to accept the idea that there's more to reality and more to the world than what we're able to pick up with our senses. So the idea
Yeah.
that there, so that yeah, so the idea that there is an extra sensory, if you will, like ESP, you know, extra sensory perception. The idea that there is an extra sensory reality, that seems to make sense to me based on all the science and stuff that I've read. Sure.
So you basically do you feel like we're living parallel? Like we have reality here, and it's like it's just it's nonstop, you know? Like there's just different waves, different portals. Like I guess
Yeah.
we'd say that like that because I say honestly, I think in my head I'm like, if you can fathom it, there's a reason that you're fathoming these things, you know. And it's like I don't know. We can question it all day, but a lot of these things that we fathomed when we were younger, they came true. You know, like things just came out. Like
Yeah.
when we were younger, it's like it was like, wait a minute, like UFOs and the thought of life outside of Earth. You know, it was just far fetched, and it was like it was just make believe. But nowadays, it's like, hey, wait a minute, I just turn on YouTube and they're seeing these drones fly around, you know, seeing these people stand on these drones flying up in the air. It's like, what's going on, you know? And it's like to come out and disclose to us that, hey, you know, there is extraterrestrial life forms, you know, and there is something greater. I'm like, man, it's like I feel like they just don't want us to pick up on that type of thing. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah, I can't speak on, you know, the reality of UFOs or anything like that, but I'll definitely acknowledge the fact that there's more going on with the world than I think most people pay attention to. Absolutely, you know what I mean? There's
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
distractions set up in place, and there's a lot of even not even distraction. There's just a lot going on, just in general. People have a lot on their plates, so they're not really able to think about, you know, big ideas or big concepts. You know, I'm just trying to get my, you know, my heat bill paid. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to get my kid, make sure my kids got lunch for the next week. You know what I mean? I think so many people, they're just so bogged down with everyday things that they're not able to think outside of the box about big broad ideas. And I
yeah,
think that's one of the things that I think I'm fortunate in my situation, that you know, as far when I speak about my situation, I talk about, for those who don't know, I'm a stay-at-home dad. You know, my wives are the breadwinners in our household, you know. And even before I had children, I was still a house husband. So my wives didn't want me to work even before we had kids. They still preferred me to be at home. So that was always the case. But one of the things that's always been a luxury for me is that I have had a lot of time to think about big, broad ideas, existential ideas, you know, the meaning of life, reality, you know, death, stuff like that. Is there a God? All that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? The big, huge ideas that most people don't get to spend time thinking about just because they're dealing with their day to day hustle, you know what I mean? I don't have time to be caring about whether or not, you know, what happens after I'm dead or anything like that. What I'm trying, I got to get up, I got to go to work, I got overtime to put in, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, I think that right there is something that our society has lost. So, and what I mean is that, check me out if you just bear with me for a minute.
yeah. No, I understand. No, definitely
So,
keep going.
in ancient societies, you had people who would be philosophers, stuff like that. People whose their whole agenda would just be to like think up shit and just wonder about the big existential ideas. You know, that's how we got names like Socrates and Aristotle's and Imhotep's and, you know, all these different thinkers of the past, you know. Nowadays, the people who have the luxury to not have to be bogged down by the everyday hustle, you know, people who are millionaires and billionaires who have the free time to actually put their thoughts into things that are relevant to other people, they really don't. It's just not happening. You know what I mean? At least not on a large scale. You've got some individuals who try to put, you know, some effort into humanity as a whole, but I think there aren't enough people who really spend time thinking about life in general and trying to improve the quality of life of society overall. You know, if you look at the way things have progressed, our society has advanced in technology a lot further than we have advanced in our social aspect or how we treat each other, stuff like that. You know what I mean? That hasn't really gone as far as our technology has, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, no, that's that. I know you. I know you remember the '90s, and we came off a very, very, very long way since then.
Right.
Uh, I remember when VCRs were a big thing. My dad. Man, I got a story about him. Definitely, I remember one time he was so excited he bought a VCR for like $300 when it first came out,
Right
and
on.
he got. And you know how Denver is. You know how Denver is. He
Yeah.
he found somebody. They walked up. They had a VCR in a box. They're here. Like, let me sell this to you. But
Yeah.
he didn't check the box. He got all the way home and he opened the box. He was so excited, and it was a box of rocks.
Oh,
He
dang.
was so upset. You know what I'm saying? But
Uh,
it's like technology. Like if he was still alive today, rest in peace his soul. But if he was still
yeah,
alive today, he
Ben,
would probably be
Ben,
shocked of what's
yeah,
going on. There's
yeah,
so much going on.
yeah. Ben was a good dude, man. I remember your pops, man. He's a good dude, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He definitely liked to what we would call shoot the shit. He
that's
liked to
what's
shoot
up,
the
man.
he liked to give a
Yeah,
hassle and everything. And man, I remember you guys. I remember you guys when I was just a little kid, when I was just a little boy and that chunky little kid running around, all goofy with
you
it.
guys had the hot tub in the backyard. You remember that hot tub in the backyard y'all had?
Y- Yeah.
Is that
No,
right? No, it would just be the adults that would get to be back there, man. But I always remember looking through the back screen. We can see it back there. Yeah, man. I'm sure they was kicking it. You
see
know,
that
now
that's insane. That's insane. I can't believe you remember that. I was
no, I can't lie, man. That was part of the inspiration for why I had to buy a hot tub myself when I got a house. You know what I mean? I was like, shit, I remember that memory. I remember
Yeah,
that.
no,
I
definitely,
was
man.
one of those. You know what I mean? That was smooth. That's what's up.
I know. I can see that you're taking care of things, man, and I just got to commend you because I was watching a couple things, and I'm like, I just love. I guess we could say your philosophy on things, like honestly, like it just opens a different portal in my brain. It opens a different level of thinking, and it stretches it because a lot of times, we're out here and we're stressing over one partner, and it's like we're a lot of times the men or women, they try to take each other hostage in a
Yeah,
sense. They try to
yeah.
captivate each other so much to the point where it's not fun. It's just
No,
overbearing. It's really sad to see it like that because some of the greatest people get into a relationship and end up automatically falling apart. And the fact that you're right there and you don't have just one partner, but you have three partners, and I got to see the love in I believe it's April, right?
yeah. That was my
I gotta see. I
April.
gotta see the love in her eyes, and I can't lie. It was a tearjerker
That's
because I gotta feel that, and it's like as a young man, we search for that. We search for that love,
yes.
and a lot of us we're not gonna find it, but some of us will. And I think that you displaying the the motives and the momentum that you are right now, it's like, man, it's like that's gonna increase value for us all. And I just want to say thank you, brother. Like,
I mean, I just think if it would be easier to increase the success rate that men would have if they went about their pursuit in a different manner, if you will. You know what I mean? It's like you know, a lot of times dating becomes this transactional thing between people where it's like um the woman is there to take or accept things and the man is there to provide and give things, you know what I mean? And it's like we need to get out of this idea that things have to be set up a certain way, um we all need to be giving and providing, but we need to open up and expand our idea of what that means. you know. Guys, don't let any woman out there just treat you as a paycheck, or as don't do that. Don't allow that to be the case. You know what I mean? Make sure you are being appreciated for the person you are, not just for the way that you're able to provide financially. And the idea that there aren't women out there who can appreciate a man outside of his finances, well, my life is a testament to the fact that that's a lie. There absolutely are women who will appreciate you in a way that has nothing to do with your finances. I have no finances, you know what I mean? I don't do anything with the money. I don't have any control over any of the money in our household, you know what I mean? And I don't want any of it, and I never have, you know what I mean?
You're just there to provide that love and give that.
Exactly,
You're there
exactly.
to provide a structure, and you're painting
Oh,
such a
bro,
beautiful picture for America. You
that's what's
know,
up,
it's like,
you know what I mean?
man,
And
I just know.
thankfully, I have wives who can recognize and appreciate that. But yeah, you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, no,
What
definitely,
it is.
definitely, man. I can see that. You know, a lot of times you think you see things and you question those things, and you're like, man, is that really real? But you can see it in both of their eyes, all three of their eyes. You know, they have a genuinency with you, and it's like, man, uh, you can't beat that. You know what I'm saying? To have somebody be able to look at you with that confidence and trust and desire too. I mean, that's all captivating right there, you know, and that's
And I'm not trying to be like every man should be a polygamist or every man should try to be a house husband or something like that. Nah, that's not the case. But you should don't accept anything less than whatever it is that you feel like is going to make you the happiest in life. You know what I mean? Too many men are going through life stressed out and unhappy because they're trying to do too much for everyone else. You know what I mean? Make sure that you're making your life be something that you enjoy doing also. You know what I mean? Make your life how you want it to be, whatever that is. You know what I mean? It's not going to look like the way my life is structured. You know, I'm not saying everybody needs to try to mimic my path. That's going to be hard and impossible to do. But go ahead and create yours the way you want yours to be, and don't settle for anything less than that. You know what I mean? You deserve it. And that's for everybody, you know, men and women alike. You deserve to have life that you feel is most fulfilling, because we're not here for very long. So while the time that you're here, go ahead and do this stuff in a way that makes you feel like it was worth something, you know, that the experience was worth going through.
so would you ever say that it's ever too late?
Nah, nah. I mean, you know, look, I'm not gonna act like some things aren't on the clock, but as far as um treating yourself right, it's never too late to do that. Nah, not at all. It's never too late to treat yourself the way that you should be treated. You know what I mean? Nah, it's never too late. Nah, not at all. Yeah, it's
So
definitely
all you gentlemen out there, you know, definitely when you fall, you don't have to lay there.
nah,
Uh,
hell no.
if you skip a beat, you don't have to worry about that. You get up and you go and you keep making that beat. You keep creating a new beat and a new beat to the drum.
Straight up, and I'll do you one further. You're gonna fall. You know what I mean? There's gonna be times when you're gonna skip a beat. It's gonna happen. Don't expect it not to. You know what I mean? Do not expect to go through life and not fuck up. You know what I mean? You're gonna be fucking up at some point. You know what I mean? At some point along the way, you're gonna do something like, damn, I should have did this instead of that. You know what I mean? But accept it as a part of the process. You know what I mean? Don't beat yourself up too much when you do mess up. Just make sure you recognize it and try to make corrections. You know what I mean? But you know, understand that there's gonna be times when you're gonna miss the mark. That's just the way things go, man. You know what I mean? That's just how it happens. You know what I mean? Everybody misses a shot every now and then. You know what I mean? Even the best baseball players gonna strike out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just keep swinging though. You know what I mean? But keep swinging.
The Denver Broncos aren't going to make it to the Super Bowl.
Not every
You know,
year.
like, you know, but they
Not
got to keep
every
trying every year.
year, but they gonna get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Busting, they can stay on the field. They'll get it. That's what's
So
up.
who would you say is your favorite football team?
Oh, don't get me in trouble, man. I don't,
Uh, never
so
mind, never mind. I don't want to. I don't
come
want
on
to
down.
start nothing. I don't want to start
Come on
nothing.
down. I'm born and bred, so of course the Denver Broncos are top on the list. But My dad's from Texas, so I can't help but be a cowboy at heart.
Oh,
But I can't.
yeah, no, definitely, definitely. We got some cowboy fans. We got some
Right on.
cowboy fans in here, you know.
But
And
yeah,
definitely,
so,
I get it. You know, hometown team. You know, and definitely, what was it like growing up in Denver, Colorado, before everything was before all the structures? You know, before everything was even out here.
man, it was always cool, man. This has always been the place I like to be at, man. You know, Denver's always, just felt like home, man. It's just, it's got troubles like any other place, but I've always felt like this was a city where you could build a nice foundation if you had the right motivation, And so I'm not sure how much of that is still active, but it's definitely still the place I like to call home. You know what I mean? I've done quite a bit of world traveling, but this is the only place, the only city I've been in where I want to live. That's for
Yeah,
sure. That's
I
what's up.
can't lie to you, brother. I feel the same way because being out there on the road, going on tour, and doing everything that I've done for the last X amount of years. I can't lie to you, man. Like, I like when it comes to Denver, like I see the police and I'm like, "Psh, that's nothing. I go to another state and you see the police, you're like, oh, and you gotta just get like couch locked real quick, like, oh, like they don't play. You know, a lot of other places are very, very, very strict, and
Yeah,
right
it's a
here, it's
lot. Yeah,
almost like you got like. Don't get me wrong. Like if you look for it, you'll find it. If you want troubles or you want to be a part of those type of situations, I mean it's there, but for the most part it's like it's very laid back, it's very chilled.
yeah,
uh Sometimes it gets too chill, it gets too
yeah,
chilly. That
yeah.
weather change.
I mean, and I mean, and we'll see. There's been a lot of change in the demographics in the city now. There's been a lot of, out of state influx, and much love to anybody from out of state that's come here. You know what I mean, and settled down. But it definitely has changed some of the flavor of the city a little bit. So, things aren't quite as they were before, but it's still the place that I like to be.
See, I feel like Denver at one point, um it was a rare breed. It was like no other place.
For sure.
And I know it sounds funny to say because it's like it sounds a little exaggerative, but it's like there's no place like home. There's no place like home, and
Absolutely.
that's why I feel like a lot of people they come out here, and at first they come out here because they want to come out here and try, what Colorado's known for, but I feel like they get comfortable and they like it. They're like, no, we're living there,
Yeah.
like, and I don't blame them because there's some parts of Kansas that I've been to, and I'm like, man, I want to go live over there. It's a different scenery. But what
Yeah.
would you say? What would you say the urban life is like down there in Denver? Like going to the clubs, going out to eat and to the different restaurants and stuff. And I know you having more than one partner, you got to go different places. You got to go on dates, and what is it like to go
Like
out on your
when I'm
typical
going out
night?
with my wives. Okay, when I'm out with my wives, is that what you mean? Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you
Yeah,
there.
yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you guys might go to the clubs once in a while. You know what I'm saying? You look like a young handsome man still, man. You know what I'm saying? And you are. So it's like, come on.
so yeah, I mean, we do. We like to go out on occasion. I mean, usually when we go out. So here's the thing. So like, if we're going out somewhere like, in a club situation or whatever it is, I mean, we'll definitely still get looks, but I think it's a little easier to put together what's going on when we're out. I mean, it clearly looks like a guy and his three ladies. You know what I mean? So now, as far as what is the relationship between him and these three, I'm sure they're not certain about, but that's kind of easy to figure out.
They're like, how
Usually,
does he do that?
yeah, right type of situation. Sure, or he must be paying for it or something. But when we go out like during the week or something like that, or just at the grocery store or anything like that, or at restaurants or things, that's when I think it's the most confusing for people. That's when it's really like, well, now they're not sure what's happening. I know sometimes when we go out to eat or something, I'm sure people are assuming that's like some co-workers or something like that, thinking we're on like a business lunch or something like that, or I'm sure there's all kind of weird ideas, but I doubt it's ever assumed that I'm out with my wives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every now
Have
and
you
then. Go ahead.
have you guys been recognized before, like in public? Have people actually walked up to you guys before and been like, "Hey,
Sure.
I've seen you."
Well, so at this point, we've been on the show Seeking Sister Wife for 2 seasons now. We're on season 4 and season 5. So it's kind of been out there a little bit. So yeah, there are times that we have gotten recognized here or there, and I'm thankful to say that all of the interactions we've had with people have been positive. We've never had anyone be rude to us or anything like that that's been problematic. It
No
just
creepos. No
Yeah,
creepos,
no
huh?
creepers, yeah, nothing like that, man. It'll just be people to say they've watched the show. They'll say hi.
All
Sometimes
those all those creeps on Colfax. We
yeah,
got
yeah,
to we
yeah.
got to
Just keep it back, yeah. But they might ask to take a picture or something like that. But it's cool, I appreciate the love, and I'm thankful that people watch the show and that they find it entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I believe honestly, and I'll just bring it back to this one more time.
sure.
But I do believe that there's a generation that's in awe about this, and they do idolize you. And I know you're like, I don't want you to idolize me for wrong reasons, but I
Right.
believe it's for all the right reasons, because it's like, you're stretching the capacity, like you're stretching whatever we can think, you're stretching it out. And it's just in such a positive way, such a positive manner, and
I
so
know.
would you say, like, the four of you, everything's equal, like, are you able to, how do you, I know me, uh I go on the road and I come home, and then my girlfriend's like, I want to cuddle, I want to lay down and watch TV. And sometimes I'm like, I got to go do this or do that, and it's just, how do you portion yourself out? How do you portion that time factor out?
Well, I mean, so again, thankfully, I don't have to work outside the house, so I am pretty much always available whenever they want me. You know what I mean? But I'm fortunate to be in a situation where my wives are very gracious with each other, so they like to make sure that each other are taken care of. So none of them are ever being too selfish about me or my time. So that really makes it easy for me to make sure everybody's okay, because they're always checking in with each other to make sure each other are okay. So,
That's
this is
amazing.
this
That
is
is.
this isn't the kind of thing I could do with just anybody. I couldn't put together this family with just any random selection of women. You know what I mean? I have very particular partners, and I'm thankful that I found the people who I have, and that's in anybody's situation. You're not going to be able to make your family work with just any random chick. You know what I mean? This is to all the young men out there. You know what I mean? Don't just be trying to just grab any random chick and try to make a family think that's going to work. You know what I mean? Be particular with how you go
I'm
about
telling you, it didn't work. It did not work.
it.
No, I'm just kidding.
Be particular with how you go about that process. You know what I mean? Because that's
You got to
going to be
value
a big
yourself. You
deal.
got to
Yeah,
really value yourself.
right.
And what it
Absolutely.
seems like to me is that you value yourself. You value yourself, who you are, and you take pride on your human being. And in return, you're able to make beautiful moments and memories. And I just got to ask this question: like, what what made you want to have such a big family? Like,
Yeah,
what was that turning factor where you were like, man, you know what? We're gonna do this,
yeah.
and we're gonna live beautifully.
I mean, if I'm being honest, being in a plural marriage, having multiple women in my life, that's something that I've been in pursuit of since, high school, easily since sometime in high school. So this is something that's always been the case, but I never called it polygamy or polyamory. I didn't know any of those terms. I just knew that I wanted to be with multiple women, and I didn't want to have to be like lying and cheating about it. You know what I mean? That was the part about it that wasn't attractive to me, because
Yeah,
I understood that if you're in a relationship with someone and you're lying and cheating to them, well, that leaves the door open for them to be lying and cheating to you. You know what I mean? So anybody out there, just understand, if you're in a relationship with someone and you're cheating on them and you're lying to them, well, you open the door for them to be doing that too. So that wasn't the kind of situation I wanted to be in personally. Now, if that's okay with you and you don't mind being in a lying and cheating situation, do your thing. You know what I mean? Lie and cheat, make it happen. But for me personally, I wasn't interested in that. So I was like, well, I need to see if there's some kind of way that I can go about having more than one woman in my life without it being the situation where I have to feel like I'm doing something where I'm having to compromise my own personal ethics. So I just I had a long conversation with my father about it. I sat down with my dad and I talked to him about it for a while, and I told him what I was trying to do, and he was kind of against it. You know, he told me that that's probably not a good idea. It's probably not going to work, but I had two women I was involved with at the time, and I just got to a point where I just, you know, back in the day we could make three-way calls, you know what I mean, on the house phone. So I just jumped on the phone with both of them on the three-way call, and I was like, hey, look, this is what's happening. You know, I would like to be with both of you, but I don't want to have to, you know, front about it or lie about it, you know, or anything like that. It's not
You
that
you didn't want to compromise your character, like you were saying.
exactly that.
You wanted to be Nick Davis,
Straight
and
up,
that's who you wanted to be.
I wanted to be how I wanted to be, and I accepted the fact that there was, you know, it was going to be one of three things: either neither one of them was going to be okay with it, and I was going to be by myself. One of them was going to be okay with it, or they were both going to be okay with it, and I had to accept every option. I had to be willing to accept the idea that both of these women might walk away from me, and I'm not going to be with anyone, you know. And I was just willing to put it all on the line for what it is that I felt I wanted to do. And thankfully that gamble paid off. Now those two women who I initially tried that with, I'm not with either of them anymore, but that's what set me on this path. That's for sure.
Yes, no, definitely. Um, I want to
Yeah,
bring it back
go ahead.
a
Go
couple.
ahead.
I want to bring it back a couple steps.
Okay.
I know you said that it was kind of hard for your dad to kind of take it in. You
Yeah.
know, how was the rest of your family about this all? Like, not just your family, but their families as well.
Sure. Yeah. Most of my extended family was all pretty accepting of it. They know I'm how I am. I'm pretty wild, so they weren't too surprised at me arranging this sort of lifestyle. My mom, she was the most apprehensive about it. She still doesn't really understand it. This isn't the kind of life I'm sure she would choose for me, but she accepts that this is what it is, and you know, she respects it. I think the same with my wife's families. You know, I think they all just kind of probably wouldn't choose this life for their daughters, I imagine. But it's hard to argue when you see the the benefit that this lifestyle and being in this relationship has had on the individuals that they are. You know what I mean? All of my wives are successful. They're well-rounded, well-adjusted individuals. You know what I mean? They've, you know, we've just got a good emotional stability, all of that kind of thing, you know, and I appreciate that. And I think that their families appreciate that, even if they might think that our family structure or our relationship is kind of strange. So,
Yeah, no, definitely.
yeah.
Definitely that's
You know,
that's definitely amazing.
there was one other thing I want to throw in the mix, just as far as speaking to young men or whatever in terms of people dating. You know, when I was like speaking about not letting yourself only be valued for the finances you provide as a young man. You know what I mean? At the same time, also understand, I think there's a lot of men out there who are intimidated by the idea of being with a woman who has more money than them. You know what I mean? I think that's something that a lot of men have a problem with, and you got to get over that shit. You know what I mean? Don't let that be an issue to you. Don't only let that be the marker of your value as a man, is that if she's making more money than me, then now that means she's whatever it is, running stuff or in control, or that means that you're not whatever the fuck it is that you think you should be. You know what I mean? Don't do that. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people, I think, who are missing out on chances to have love because of superficial things like that. You know what I mean? You know, your
Yeah.
wife started making more than you, then you started feeling insecure, then that ended up leading to divorce. Like, damn, what? Don't let that happen. You know what I mean? Go ahead and maintain the love. Don't let, you know, stop basing yourselves and your relationship on these superficial metrics. You know what I mean? just go ahead and ride with the love that you have, and let that be the standard.
What is one of the keys that you're able to use on a day-to-day basis to provide that love, to I know that
Yeah.
relationships take work. It's not just overnight. It doesn't just happen, and it doesn't just fall into your hands sometimes. Like, you got to really pick it up, grab it, hold it. And sometimes it burns, sometimes it gets cold, when it's like you got to hold on to it. So like, what is one of your motives on a day-to-day basis for that?
Yeah, I think it's really just to again, so it's like more than trying to make sure my wives are happy, I try to make sure that I myself am not being unpleasant, I guess is the way to put it. You know what I mean? It's like when
That's
you
probably the best way to put it.
you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's like, first of all, when it comes to life, don't be taking this shit too seriously, okay? At the end of it, you're gonna die. Okay, so don't take this shit too seriously. Like, there's no reason to be sitting up stressing too hard about every little fucking traffic, and I'm mad at traffic. I was like, calm the fuck down. Yeah, there's traffic. So fucking what? You know what I mean? There's gonna be cars, whatever. You know what I mean? Don't be letting every little thing be so serious to you. Don't take this life so serious. At the end, we're gonna die. So don't worry about all the every little steps. And I think people do too much of that. And when you can let go some of that little shit that doesn't matter, like, for example, traffic or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? All kind of just think in your head of all kind of little shit that stresses people out, or, as you go through your day, pay attention to the little shit that you find yourself being stressed out about that really doesn't actually matter. When you can let go of those little things that don't actually matter, you can start putting more focus on things that do. And that will help make you a more fulfilled individual. I mean, so I think that's probably the main thing that I try to do, is not sweat the small things, so that I can put my energy and focus into the big things that matter.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So,
Definitely, I feel it. I feel it.
no,
Got the
right on.
dogs going off in the background over there. I got a bulldog. He's man. Everybody out there, if you're looking for a dog, that definitely man, like not that active. They definitely just lay there. You know what I'm saying? A little lazy. I don't have to worry about chasing him around. He alert. He had to sound it off in the background. He was cheering for you. But
That's
nah, man, honestly,
most days.
here at SR Broadcast, we really pride ourselves on having these intimate interviews and just sitting down with your characteristics and really touching base. And definitely, I guess what I would ask at this part right now is that what's something that, because this is going to be something that people are going to play tomorrow. They're going to play on their way to work, as they're working right there, as they're just going about their day-to-day basics, and when they have that spare time, they're going to turn this on, they're going to listen to it, and one day one day your family's going to play it back, one day your kids are going to play it back. And I guess what I would say is, what would you say to them? What's a good message that you could leave for them, and share with them?
Be excellent to each other. Treat each other well, treat yourselves well, what I mean? And just enjoy the ride. You'll be okay. There's gonna be tough days that you're gonna have to deal with things, but expect that and just keep going. Just keep going. One thing that a good piece of advice that my dad got from his father, something passed down from my granddad, was that no matter what you have to deal with in life, just keep going. Just keep going. You know what I mean? Just keep going, because eventually whatever you're dealing with right now is going to be in the past, and it's not going to be a thing like it is anymore. You know what I mean? You're going to be able to get through it. Just keep living. There's going to be struggles. There's going to be stuff to deal with. So just accept that as part of the ride, and go through. Appreciate the people who you have around you. If you've got good people around you, people who love you, people who support you, reciprocate that. Give that same love and support back to them so that you can form your network, you know. And once you've got that established, that's all you want to do. Just ride out, you know, just ride out life. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and take it, just take it like that, you know. So again, if anybody wants to follow us on Instagram, we're the Davis Family Official. You can just look us up on Instagram, the Davis Family Official, just like that. And you'll find us on there. And the show Seeking Sister Wife, it's available on all the streaming, you know, Hulu, HBO, Max, whatever, you know, where you can check it out. You know what I mean? It's TLC streaming. So just you know, give it a look.
You said Hulu, huh? Definitely, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go check that out. I did not know it was on Hulu. I'm gonna have to go check that out, man. I got a Hulu, and definitely I'm gonna have to hijack it for my kids if you catch the drift. You know, I got it in that whole Disney ESP package back in the day.
That's what's up. You and I both, man.
I might have to go through some Lilo and Stitch and stuff like that. Some kid movies, but I'll definitely get there. You know what I'm saying? And you know, definitely, man. I'm just honored to even be face to face with you like this, and even be able to be like this, because not too many of us from out in that direction. You know, we not too many of us make it. You know, not too many of us have been able to have a beautiful story, you know. Now, how it's gonna end, we don't know how it's gonna end, but I can tell you kind of do, and I can see it's on a positive, a great energy. I'm excited. You know, I can't wait. And I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say, but you know what? You know, David Pistols cannot wait. You know, like there's just so many great aspects, and I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I've seen a few episodes prior, and I really enjoy your episodes, you know. And then the fact that I was sitting there one day and I was watching it, right? And it was my mother. She actually was standing behind me, and she was like, "Oh," she was like, "What are you watching?" And I was like, she's like, where is this at?" I was like, "Denver, Colorado." Like, little behold, you know. So it's like,
give her a hug for me, man. Give her some love for me.
Yeah, I will, man. I'm gonna give her some great love.
Your folks, there was always good people in my life growing up, man. Your folks was always good people in my life, bro.
Yeah, I know that she usually sees George. She usually sees him. Yeah, and definitely, man. I definitely I got to see you guys way before this actually kicked off. I saw one of you guys' videos on Facebook. You guys were freestyling and rapping. Was that you or George?
It was probably me, man. It might have been.
Hey, because I'm not gonna lie, like you both have a similarity. You know what I'm saying? You both have a similarity. You could tell you're brothers. You know, like you know, and just amazing, man. Just amazing. Like after just talking with you tonight, I definitely know why my cousin was you guys' friend, because he's definitely an open spirit too, you know. And for years,
big ups to JT. Much love.
Yeah, for years the family, they kind of were looking like, you know, and you know how the family goes, but I get it now, and it's like he's just an amazing man himself, you know. And it's like I feel like there was a lot of amazingness right there, and it just made it to the future. You guys just time traveled. You came and like for me to even be in this moment, you know, like
we stayed true. We stayed true to who we were, you know what I mean? And that's brought us a long way. That's for sure. You know?
That's beautiful, man.
What's up?
So like what high school did you go to?
I went to Overland High School for a little while, and then I ended up graduating from Montbello High School.
Okay, so you were actually in the Aurora area, huh?
Bellside, Bells.
Shouts out to Montbello, Colorado. Not California, but Montbello, Colorado. You know, there's two of them. So you know.
Yeah, no doubt. But I was in Aurora. Yeah, I've been born and raised in Denver and lived in Aurora also. So you know, I've lived other areas around Colorado too. You know, I mean, I lived up north in Brighton for a while, you know, stuff like that. But It's
Where's
always
your
just
favorite area to be in Colorado? Like, where is it just like the most? I know all of Colorado's home, but it's like, where's the most at home feeling?
in my house, probably. Shit. No, I don't- you know
It's
what I
like in my
mean?
house. That's where it's
You
at.
know what I mean? That's where it's cracking for me. That's my favorite place to be. But you
Yeah, I
know,
don't blame you. I don't blame you. It took me a long time to become that person that actually touched reality,
yeah,
and it was okay to be who I am. It was a good thing to go after what I believed in. And it's like I believe in what I'm doing here. I believe in promoting. I believe in
sure.
definitely giving great content and entertaining. As you can see, I don't know if you've caught any of our previous episodes on here, but gets a little goofy sometimes. And right now I can't lie to you, like I definitely was not gonna come in here that character, because I
Yeah,
know that there are people that are watching, and you have a professionality all about you. And I wanted to come in such a great aspect for you tonight, and I wanted to just collaborate with your professionality, because I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Some of the way that you've articulated tonight, I'm like, can I even compete with that conversation? Can I even be on that
no
scale?
competition. Yeah, no competition, man. It's a nice conversation we had here, Brandon. I'm glad we got
Yeah, no, it's beautiful, man, and
to.
definitely it makes me open up more of my brain waves. They showed something on TikTok the other day. It was showing like when your brain learns, like the cells in your brain. It showed them growing
Yeah,
and growing, and I feel like if we don't do that, it's like, man, we're gonna just have little molecules right there, like for nothing.
yeah.
It's like we got to
Got,
really
got to keep the learning going.
explore our thought process. And i
Straight up.
love i love how you put it earlier, and I do understand it. It's like we got to focus, and we can't focus on the outer things. We got to focus on the inner, and that's just where it's at. It's like man, like once you can find that inner peace and that inner you can provide that for so many other people, whether it's a relationship or not. You can provide it for your family, you can provide it for your friends.
And what it is that you give them an example of what it looks like so that they can create it for themselves. You know what I mean? You're not going to be able to bring peace to anyone else. You're not going to be able to make anyone else happy. But what you can do is function in a way that shows other people how they can be their own peace, or how they can be their own happiness. And that's definitely what I try to stand for. You know what I mean? You know, I can't make there's no way I could satisfy three women. That's crazy. You know what I mean? You can barely satisfy one woman who knows what you know what I'm saying, how trying to do three. But what I can do is show them how to fulfill themselves so that they aren't looking for that from somewhere else. They know how to generate it within themselves. And that's definitely the best part about it.
Yeah, no, man. See, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Like what you've done tonight, what you've been doing. It's just amazing. Like, and I thank you so much for coming out on this platform and touching base. Because I'm telling you, this is a topic that needed to be spoke about, because there's so many people that are lost, and they take it out on everybody else around them. They don't take that time to really be like, hey, I'm gonna find myself. You
Yeah.
know, and it feels like maybe you didn't have it just overnight. Maybe it wasn't just easy, but it feels like you found yourself.
Yeah, no, it definitely didn't happen overnight, and this is still a journey I'm on now, you know what I mean? I'm still not beyond the point where I'm, learning about myself. I'm still figuring out things about who I am, you know what I mean? But it's worth the effort, it's gonna be worth the effort. The struggles you're gonna go through trying to create the life that you feel like you deserve, it's gonna be worth the effort. Straight up.
Yeah, no, definitely. I got just a couple more questions to ask you, man. And I got to ask you these kind of questions right here at SR
But
Broadcast.
yeah.
Man, what was the first car you bought?
The first car I bought. Wow.
Yeah, what was the first car you had? What was the first one you was
Oh, the first
twisted?
car I had, man. I'm sure it was like in a Zuzu Rodeo or something like that, man. Some kind of SUV that I'm sure my mom gave me or something. You know what I mean? Something simple like that. But the first car that I ever, yeah, I'm sure that was something like that. But I mean, even that, like, I don't like right now, I mean, I've got, our family has cars or whatever the hell it is, but I didn't buy any of them, you know what I mean? I don't really have anything to do with the finances, you know what I mean? Now I might suggest or give them ideas about what car I want to have, and then they'll go buy whatever, car I might say, but I don't really do any of that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? I don't really do any of the, like I say, any of the financial stuff. I hardly ever drive. You know what I mean? I don't even drive hardly if I can avoid it. You know what I mean? I
So
usually
you literally just love and take care of the babies and take care of the household.
nah, for sure, for sure. I don't really it's easy, you know what I mean? I can't lie. Like I've got a sweet setup, you know what I mean? I can't front about the fact that I've got a pretty easy setup.
How many babies you got?
I've got uh I've got my teenage son, so he's 17, and then I've got my daughter right now. She's 2.5.
Okay, that's
There's a big
amazing.
age gap between them, but yeah, it's fun. It's pretty cool.
No, it sounds like you did an amazing job. I'm not gonna lie. I have two beautiful babies, 8 and 9 years old,
That's what's up.
and I would have had more, but I had to really dedicate myself to them. Their mother is not around, like she should be, and it's hard for them. It's really hard for them because they got to go to school and they got to see, hey, my friend's mom is giving them a kiss on the cheek today, goodbye, and this, that. And man, I just had to really dedicate myself and knuckle down. I focused. I had to go after what I wanted, and that was to be a great dad, and just really take care of mine. So I can understand it. Maybe there's a big gap, but it's like it sounds like you have a very strong mentality. Like you could have probably went off and had multiple children, like several men do in Denver, Colorado,
For sure.
but other than that, it's like
I mean, that's
I
one of
can
the
see
most
that
important
you have
decisions.
goals.
Yeah, that's one of the most important decisions you can make. So, that's definitely something that I think people should spend more time on, as far as making the decision. Oh shit, I don't know. Did you lose me? Am I still there?
No, you're right here. You're right here, brother.
Okay. As far as making the decision about who you're gonna have your children with, man, that's definitely something that I think people don't put enough thought into. So uh, be careful with that sort of move.
Yeah, because when they hit two, huh?
Yeah,
When
yeah.
they hit 2 years old, it's
And I mean, even like, speaking to the idea of being a single parent, like, I tip my hat to all parents, even in, even if there's two of them, you know what I mean? But the single parents, especially, that's like, it's like some superhero stuff. I don't understand how they function like that. I mean, as you can see, I need a whole team with me. You know what I mean? I got my toddler, but I need three wives I need all hands on deck. You know what I mean? The people that are out there doing it on their own, you're making miracles happen. So I know it's probably tough on you day to day, but give yourself a pat on the back every now and then. You know what I mean? When you're, making things happen for your kids and your, birthdays, Christmases, things like that. You know what I mean? When you're making those things happen, give yourself a pat on the back, because that's not an easy thing to do. That's for sure. That's what's up. Yeah, straight up, man. You know what I mean? All the for real. All the parents out there, y'all. Big
yeah,
ups.
single dads, single mothers. It took me a long time to get to that point where it's like I would say the macho-ness, like I could fight it every day of my life, but it's like it gets beat down.
I
And
know.
it's like I end up mom at the end of the day too. You
That's
know
what's
what I'm saying? So it's amazing. Like basically your children are getting love, and it's like it's an endless love almost, like it's an endless amount of love that they're getting.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, that was definitely a big motivator in this whole bringing together this whole family structure for me personally. Was the idea that my kids would be able to receive so much love. I mean, the way that we raise our children in our situation, my daughter calls all of my wives mom. You know, she doesn't just call one of them mom or anything like that. She calls them all mom equally, you know. So
And they all love her.
and they all
They
love
all
her.
love her equally,
Right.
huh?
So she receives the love of a mother multiplied, you know, by 3, you know, and so I just can't see any way that that would be a bad thing, you know what I mean? So I just keep it like that, you know. That was, like I say, that was my whole point, you know.
Now,
And
do your wives have children of their own?
so my wife April had a son when I got with her, when her and I got together. So that's my boy William. I'm not his biological father, um, although he's very much my son.
Heck yeah.
You know, I've been in his life since, you know, before he was 1 year old. So
That is amazing.
yeah. So they have that, but other than that, no. You know, I mean, it's just our daughter that we have.
Now, I know this is like I said, any questions you want to pass, you go ahead and pass. But I just got to ask: is there any thoughts of the future? Like, is there any thoughts of having more children?
I mean, I'm definitely open to it. I mean, to a point, you know, I kind of let my wives decide that. You know, I don't really care either way. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm open to whatever they want to do. You know what I mean? If my wives wanted to have more children, I'd be open to it. If they were good with what we had, that's fine with me too. So, me personally, I don't have any, you know, either way that goes, I'm good.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing, man. That's amazing. We're at the part of the segment right now. Are you able to click the little chat right there in the middle at all? And then let's go ahead and read off that comment bar right there. We got some comments coming in.
Let me see.
Mm. It's right there in the middle of the screen.
Might have to get my tech support there. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, okay, so I see chat down here. Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, go ahead and hit that comment bar right there.
Okay.
Oh, you got a comment in there from somebody very special. Very, very special in there.
Let me see. Let me see where it's at.
Hey, you know, she had to ask that question. She had to ask that question.
Let me see. What you say? Am I happy? Was that what we talk about?
Yeah, do you see the name right there?
Yeah, I see. That's y'all. What's up, Vicky? How you
Yeah.
doing? Peace, Vicky. How you doing? I mean, yeah, I'm extremely happy. I don't have any room for much complaints in my life. The way things are set up for me, you know, it's tough for me to have a bad day. You know, things are pretty well for me. I'm very well blessed. I'm thankful for it. You know, I appreciate the love I receive from my family and the individuals I have in my life, and I'm very thankful for the way things are for me. Absolutely, for sure. Yeah.
And it's kind of like it's like, is it? Would you say it's kind of hard for any of you to have a bad day with that support system around? Like basically, like if one of you is kind of down low, the next one's coming up, and they're like, "Hey, come on, let's go!" You know, like
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah. We try to maintain a real good energy at our house to where, you know, even if one of my wives might have had a rough time at work, once they get home and get settled in, you know, they let all that stuff go, and then you know you're right here feeling good being at home. So I like to keep it like that, to keep a nice home environment for my wives to relax in. I like to keep it home chill and relaxed and fun as possible. And you can imagine it is. I mean, you know, with the 4 of us together all the time, it's usually always a good time at home. You know, we have parties every night just with us being together the way we are. You know what I mean? So it's there's definitely a lot to be thankful for. There's a lot to enjoy with the way we got our family set up.
so. It's not Netflix and chill. It's Hulu and chill.
Yeah, for sure. For the current time. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. I just can't believe it. Some of my favorite movies are on there, you know, and I'm like, now I get to go ahead and watch one of my favorite people. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. You know what I'm saying? It's so inspirational, man. And Definitely. Let's keep going through that comment bar real quick. Let's go ahead and see what's in there. Give a shout out to those names too. Give a shout out, man. Give a good shout out to the people out
Thank
there.
you, Vicky. Much love. I see Amber Richie giving some thank you for watching, Amber. You and your husband. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I saw that comment too, and that's great. That's amazing, for you to be able to touch people like that. And shouts out to you, Amber. Shouts out to your husband. And
Yeah.
keep watching, because my friend over here, he's amazing. He's an amazing person. And
I'm hoping
man,
there's gonna
Colorado was so lucky to even have him as an attribute. He's he's
hopefully
like a
there'll be
famous
another
sports
season.
player now out here.
Nah. I'm still same old guy. You know what I mean? And then it's still, it doesn't feel like that to me, really. I got to be honest. At no point, anytime I've ever been asked to take a picture with someone or anything like that, it's still a shock to me. You know what I mean? I still don't, I don't regard myself as anything special in that sense. I don't consider myself to be, famous or have notoriety or anything. I'm just the same old guy. You know what I mean? So,
Humble.
yeah,
Straight humble.
I try to be.
Oh my God, that's so amazing, man. I'm dumbfounded. I'm dumbfounded right now, because it's like people only wish they could have those shoes, and what you're doing is, it's like, don't wish to have another man's shoes. Like,
Yeah, nah,
create your own shoes.
you don't need my
Like,
shoes. You got a good
get
pair on
some
your
shoe
feet.
lotta and
Yeah,
make your
straight
own
up. You know what
shoes.
I mean? No, for real. No, I swear.
Got some scuff on them?
I
Go
promise.
ahead.
Just
Go
dust
ahead,
them
get them
off. Yeah,
clean.
you know what I mean? You got a good pair already. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and run with those. Straight up.
So, shouts out to you, brother, man. Can you go ahead and give a shout out to SR Broadcast? Can you give us a little
Appreciate
drop real quick?
SR broadcast. Thank you for having me on. You know what I mean? This was a great talk. So I appreciate the love and you taking the time to bring me out and on your platform. So thank you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you, man. Definitely. I know you got a lot going on too, and you got some partners over there. They're waiting for you. They're waiting for your time. They're waiting for your smile. They're waiting for that energy inside of your chest. And right now, what you've done is you've taken that energy and you made it into like a big ball, and you just were able to shoot it into our chests right now. You were able to shoot it and project it back, and that's what I mean, man. I commend you so much, and this was such an honor. Uh, this is the place for the super righteous, and we had such a righteous interview right now, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
man. Shouts
Thanks
out
for
to you,
having me
Nick
on, man. I'm
Davis.
proud of you, man. And yeah, take care of yourself, man. I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah.
You doing your thing, man. Much love.
We're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go get some lunch sometime. You know what I'm saying?
Up, man. Like I said,
And
give your mom a hug for me, man.
I will. I'll give her a little kiss on the cheek too. I'll be like,
What's up, man? Please
"Thank
do.
you, mama. Thank you, mama, for putting me on, mama, because that's who put me on.
No doubt about it. No doubt.
So shouts out to you, Nick Davis. Everybody out there, shouts out to you. SR Broadcast in the mix. You know what time it is. Shouts out to everybody out there. Let's get it going. We see you, Lance Tafoya. We see you, Puffy. Shouts out to you, Six Deuce. Everybody out there. Is there anybody out there that you want to give a shout out to? Just kind of give them some love.
Everybody out there, man, just be easy. Treat each other well and take care of yourselves. That's all I got to say, man. Much love to all of you.
And you know what time it is.
Thank you. All right.
We out.
Take care.
We out of here, brother. Everybody out there, don't drink and drive. You know what I'm saying? Don't drink and text. Don't be on the internet, period, and drinking. You know what I'm saying? Live your life. Shouts out to you, brother, man. We out of here.